don't think any of us doubt that there's massive potential for AI in the telecoms business, which is so operational. And as you said before, most of the focus until now has been on the customer experience side of things. Not a huge amount of progress so far in operations, even though I know that my colleague Aaron in TM Forum, he runs the AI Ops collaboration team, and it's probably the biggest collaboration project we have today in TM Forum. So there's a huge amount of interest in that space. But my feeling is that one of the reasons why there's so much interest in the space is because the how-to is just so challenging. It's so difficult. And, so I guess in terms of how you address this, do you address opportunities in operations on an incremental, pragmatic basis? Or do you need to start with bigger visions and pictures about what you want to achieve?
Funny enough, like a lot of things in the CSP space, it's actually more of a people and process challenge than a technology challenge. So while I think at the C level it's great to have a grand vision for machine learning and AI, at the working level, it's really important to take it in incremental steps. So we often talk to our partners and customers about thinking big, starting small, and running fast. And what that means is to develop a roadmap where you start with not the big rocks, not the massive changes, but the quick wins. It's to get support and get the people and processes to follow and eventually transform. You have to very quickly get wins that deliver value to everybody in the organization.
Thanks, that's great. And in terms of thinking big, what does that thinking big look like? What defines the thinking big?
Thinking big means that you transform your business model, for example. That would be a think big item. Or you want to achieve a fundamentally different operational model. Like for today, sad to say, operations today is largely a continuous emergency service.
Yeah.
We have a knock, we look at screens, we look at device failures. So shifting the focus from the failing devices to how their customers are impacted. And focusing on that's really a fundamental shift in thinking. It sounds benign, but it really isn't.
Do you need to be putting together and implementing a governance strategy, and simultaneously you're sort of deploying maybe those first AI capabilities on small scale requirements? Is that how you sequence?
Well, data governance is key, and data governance is really about, things swing back and forth a lot. So right now there's a lot of focus on data security, data leaks, etc. So data governance is about taking a second look at how do we manage our data in the most pragmatic way while protecting the data that is truly sensitive to us and to our customers. Once you have that in place, making as much data available as possible for use by machine learning models is going to have to be key. But again, I think the industry will struggle a while in terms of making the right data available without unnecessary constraints.
And in terms of where we are at today, I always ask people this question, which is on a scale of 1 to 10, which is that we're just starting out, and 10 is we're on a great strategy and we haven't solved anything yet, but we absolutely know what our data strategy is and we're leveraging it properly. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are we today? I mean, the figure I often get back is about a 4. Would you agree with that?
I was gonna say, before you said 4, I was gonna say maybe a 3. I mean, so where we are today and the excitement around AI is not because AI is new. AI has been around for decades. The data has been around for decades. What's changed now is that we have the compute and storage power to truly mine that data. That wasn't there before. So we're at the critical juncture there.
Going back to the how, is it clear to you or to the operators you speak to about how much expertise and capability they need in-house and how much they work with partners?
Yeah, so I think it's very important that larger telcos, that they have a data science team because they know their data better than anybody else. Now, in terms of industrializing that AI work, which is largely research, that's where partners and like B-Yond can come in and help and make that a production value as well. You need the platforms, you need the capabilities to make sure it's running consistently with the right quality and that it's not disruptive in unintended ways.
Could you elaborate a bit more on the people and process challenge? Is it more legacy-based thinking that hinders, or more lack of short-term or long-term clarity on end state?
No, I think it's largely fear. You have to manage the fear you have in the organization. These are huge organizations. And one of the biggest mistakes made by the leadership is that they think that, let's say, becoming more agile means that to reorganize. Actually not. You should adopt a DevOps approach. A DevOps approach is a mindset and a process. It's not a reorganization. And that process requires cross-functional collaboration, and that's where the mindset comes in. So working with the teams of changing the way they look at accountability, ownership, and empowerment is really, really important. These are soft issues, and only practice training and creating an environment where you celebrate failure will you actually be able to move the people.